To the surprise of many, the Eagles going down to the last week of the season, having to win to clinch the number one seed. Is it time to panic yet? We will break that down, give you the latest injury updates, and a whole lot more on today's show. What is going on, everyone? RB here. Welcome into A to Z Philly, your number one home for Eagles coverage. Be sure to hit that like button on this video if you do enjoy this content, and subscribe to A to Z Philly on YouTube. Today, we are back. One of the final regular season Mondays here. And man, I mean, nobody would have expected this. A lot of Eagle fans are frustrated. They are wondering, can this Eagles team finish it off? Can they clinch that number one seed? They go and lose to the New Orleans Saints yesterday in embarrassing fashion, a game they should have taken care of. But is it time to hit that panic button yet? We will break that down, and we'll talk about what needs to happen this weekend, really, and whether the Eagles will have the advantage. But we start today with some of the latest updates. So Nick Sirianni just spoke to the media a little while ago, and here is what he said regarding the status of Jalen Hurts. He says, Hurts is getting better every day. He credits him for working hard, as well as CJ Gardner-Johnson in rehab. And he says they are waiting to see what both players' statuses will be for this week. It was weird. Like, they asked him a couple different questions at different times, different reporters, and he really just tiptoed around it. It felt like the first initial answer was, yes, he's going to play. And then he kind of backtracked a little bit, maybe realized like, oh, I can't really say that yet. So he said, we want him to be healthy. We'll see what it looks like when he comes back. So really, we don't know. And then we see this from earlier today from Ian Rappaport. He was on TV and he was talking about the Jalen Hurts situation. And he says, on the expected availability of Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts, and you can see the banner down below, says Hurts expected to play in week 18. And I'm just here to tell you guys right now, Jalen Hurts has to play this game. A lot of people think that he should have played yesterday. I said all week I wanted him to, but if there was any discomfort, I totally get keeping him out, because we thought that Gardner Minshew could step up and play at least half as good as he played against the Cowboys. But it was a colossal failure from the players to the coaching staff to everybody. They all deserve blame. And let's talk about that for a second, man. Gardner Minshew played terrible. He played terrible. Nobody really got going. I'm going to be completely honest. When Gardner Minshew went out there and could not really complete many of his throws, and he just seemed maybe to be having an off day, or just is not that good, it almost seems like it took the life out of every other Eagles player. I mean, some of them weren't running their routes, finishing their routes or finishing tackles or, things like that. It just didn't seem like everybody was engaged yesterday. And now it comes to realize that, when you lose your leader, when you lose one of the best players in the league, this is the ripple effect. And Jalen Hurts has to come back. They need that belief, that confidence restored so everybody can get going. And speaking of this game this weekend, the Eagles will need to win this game. I think they need to win it handily just to get that confidence back. Will they be playing the Giants bench players? Will they be playing the starters? That is the topic of discussion. And another conflict here, as we have no answers yet. This was Brian Daboll last night at the podium after the Giants won their game, and they ended up clinching, and they're locked into their seed right now. They will be the 6th seed. Brian Daboll kind of hinted at the fact that they are going to play their players. A lot of people have said Brian Daboll is a tough coach, obviously first year as a head coach, and they think he's going to force his guys to go out there and play to keep them ready. Now, in my personal opinion, that would make absolutely no sense. You are in it for the long haul. Why would you go out there and start Daniel Jones and start Saquon Barkley with the risk of a severe injury, right? And then you're toast in the playoffs. So to me, it wouldn't make any sense, but Brian Daboll kind of hinted at the fact he was going to play his guys. And then today, once again, kind of backtracks here. According to Bob Brook over here on Twitter, Brian Daboll today says he will do what is best for the team concerning resting starters against Eagles. Essentially what that means to me is we are going to rest. Now, maybe he throws them out there for a drive or two or a quarter just to keep them in rhythm. But, a lot of these players are still not used to the 17-game season, and a lot of them are banged up. For example, when the Eagles played the Giants weeks ago, Saquon Barkley was bruised up. He barely could get anything going. They said he had dead legs. So now you have the ability as a Giants team to essentially have your own bye week. So why not take advantage of that? I don't think the Giants will end up playing most of their starters, but that remains to be seen. You never know. It goes from coach to coach, from team to team, philosophy to philosophy. So we will see what happens there. But in terms of the Eagles, is it time to hit the panic button? So here is how things are shaping up right now. And it's just absolutely crazy to think, obviously everybody is in love with this Eagles team, and they are one of the best Eagles teams of all time. But when they're playing like this, things need to be said. There is no reason that one of these last two games should not have been won. You blew many opportunities in the Dallas game, and then yesterday you just cough up a bad one. It was an awful look. It was probably the worst one out of all of the losses this year. And when they're playing like this, you have to say something about it, right? Something needs to be said, whether it's a leader in the locker room, whether it's Nick Sirianni. Somebody needs to pump some fire into this team, because let me tell you something right now. You do not want to be playing your worst football at this peak time, heading into the playoffs with momentum. Yes, momentum is a real thing. Sometimes there's outliers, but momentum is definitely a real thing. You want to be that team getting hot at the right time. And right now, the Eagles are playing so sloppy. They need to pick it up and fix all of the issues. Now, maybe with Jalen Hurts coming back, and I guess I am a firm believer of this, it will look different, right? Maybe the coaching staff won't go out there and make boneheaded calls or try to do something that won't work, because Jalen Hurts can make up for some of those deficiencies. But, for instance, yesterday going out, I said all week, throwing the ball 30, 40 times with a backup quarterback is not going to sustain. Utilize the weapons you have, utilize your running back, utilize your pieces, and keep everybody healthy and on the right track. They need to do that this coming week, but most importantly, they need to get the win. So is it time to panic? I would say a little bit, but if Jalen Hurts, that is the key. If Jalen Hurts is 100% healthy, I don't think there will be much panic, because I truly believe him, along with the rest of this offense, puts this Eagles team still far and above and beyond the other teams. I truly believe that, with how he has played this year, with his confidence, with his talent, with his arm, everything, with his legs. But if Jalen Hurts is still bothering, that shoulder, and if Jalen Hurts is not 100% healthy, it is definitely time to panic. Because as we look at this right here, if the Philadelphia Eagles lose this weekend in an unthinkable manner, and the Dallas Cowboys win this weekend, the Cowboys hold the tiebreaker. The Philadelphia Eagles will drop to the 5 seed. And guess what that means? It means for the second straight year, they will have to go on the road in the first round up against the greatest quarterback of all time in Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. And let me tell you something, even though the Buccaneers have been awful this season, I saw what I saw yesterday in Tom Brady. He rose to the occasion in a big game, in a big moment. He has always done that. And a playoff Brady is a different beast. And honestly, I don't know if I have confidence going on the road and beating that team in the first round. I'm just being completely honest. If the Cowboys go on the road in the first round, I think they're getting bounced by Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. I know the team has been god-awful, but Tom Brady rises to a different level in the playoffs. As much as I may not like him, it is the truth. So the Eagles have to win this weekend. They cannot go down to the 5 seed. I can't believe that it's actually coming down to the final week. I mean, in an unthinkable manner, could the Eagles be on the verge of a potential choke, a potential collapse of the 1 seed? You will make this journey to the Super Bowl 10 times harder. And if you go up against the Giants backups and you squeak out a win, that's not a good look either. The Eagles need to come out, dominate, handle business. I can almost guarantee Jalen Hurts will be playing this game. And really the main thing here is that the Eagles need to hope that he resembles the MVP Jalen Hurts. We need to hope that, there is no discomfort in the shoulder and he's ready to go. Then he can give the rest of the guys a week off as well as himself in a nice bye week and keep the playoffs running through Philadelphia. But right now, based off what has been displayed the last 2 weeks, there is room for a little bit of panic right now. And, some people are even arguing whether the Giants are going to play their players, but if the Eagles should want to see the Giants starters, because imagine backing into the playoffs, with a squeaked out win against backups, that would not be a good look either. I think if the Eagles handle business this weekend, you forget about the last 2 weeks and you move forward, you get everybody healthy, and you fire on all cylinders. But the coaching staff, the offensive side of the ball, and I didn't even mention, but the defensive side, as we talked about on the postgame show, you have to come out ready to go. You need to be aggressive with potentially what, might have the best defensive line ever written all over it. The Eagles' defensive line is on the verge of breaking the sack record, and yet you came out in the first half, didn't apply any pressure once again. Andy Dalton only had one incompletion the whole first half. It was an interception late. That can't happen. You do that in a playoff game against a Tom Brady, against an Aaron Rodgers, guess what? You might be punching your ticket home. So this needs to clean up right now. This has been a tremendous season, but somehow, some way, you're fighting for your life for that number 1 seed, and that could make the whole world of difference this weekend. So Eagles need to go out, just kind of hit the reset button and get back to their core and get back to what works, or else everybody else is going to be sweating bullets in a week or two. But those are just my thoughts. Give me yours down below in the comment section. What is your level of concern for Jalen Hurts' shoulder and for the Eagles right now? Appreciate everybody tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and as always, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.